the top of the upper leg bone, the femur at the femoral head, meeting into the acetabulum of the hip, or the socket of the hip at the pelvis. Okay, watch this. The 15th of July, 2026, in the Image Clothing Company's main site here, this is what's happening. Ready? So as I just straighten my knees and my legs all the way, it opens my hips, because now my hips, well, we could say they're neutral, but really it's opening them all the way, because the neutral in the body is slightly bent through everything to have some stabilization, right? We have opposing muscles pulling on either side of the neutral position to stabilize us in that neutral position. Everything in the body has a neutral position. So the feet lever off the hinge of the ankle have this neutral, the horizontal surface of the planet Earth, or the term zero drop in any brand of shoe. But while they're here, there's a slight bend in the ankle, a slight bend in the knee, a slight bend in the hips, a slight bend in the low back, a slight bend in the mid back, and a slight bend in the upper back, or the neck, the cervical spine, so the body can stay stable in Earth's vertical gravity pull. But where this video's title comes in on the 15th of July, 2026, under In the Image Clothing Company's main side, is the hips open when the legs straighten. Well, when you straighten the legs all the way, you take away that natural slight bend that's allowing for stabilization and activation of musculature in the knees. Fully straightening the knees actually fully opens the hips into posterior rotation. So what I'm saying is, what we're talking about in this video is the full openness, the full extension of the entire legs, starting at the hips down to the feet, or we could say starting at the feet up to the hips. Just like how if we straighten the elbow and the wrist and the whole arm, that's full extension, but normally there's a slight bend just to have stabilization. But you can fully lock the bones out. That's what I'm saying here. The hips open fully, though, okay, when the leg straightens. So watch this. Now it's just like one complete straight line, essentially, as completely straight as you could get, just with the shape and length of the bones of the universal human design. When we straighten our knees and the whole leg, with our feet gripping arches naturally, neutrally, normally, on the horizontal surface of the planet Earth, the term zero drop in any brand of shoe, just flat. And then the pelvis, or the hips, not being altered by pants at all, in any way. But at the waistband or down to the pant cuffs, keeping the pant cuffs off the top of the feet so the feet can have their natural lifting or dorsiflexion. What I'm saying is, the only way you can ever possibly have open hips is really the point of this discussion, and also just the explanation of the anatomy and how it works, just this hinge, lever, and rotation system of the human being that only could ever possibly do what it can do. It's just mathematically measurable. It's just what it is. It can never do anything else. It's impossible for it to, without damage or alteration to the human being. To God's design, it grows by itself. There's only one way the human body could ever work, and there's no opinion to it possible for anyone, myself included, that we could ever have. But we're in deep chronic patterning if we are, and that's what I'm saying is, to get the hips to fully open, you have to fully straighten the knees. It's just like to get the shoulder fully open, we have to fully straighten the elbow. It's the same thing, right? We straighten the elbow between the hand and shoulder, and the entire arm does the exact same thing, okay? All the rotations, internal rotation or external rotation, and just anywhere the hand goes, the shoulder goes. If the body's just not altered, because it only can ever possibly do what it does. The bones are essentially just sticks. They don't move by themselves until they connect or join to another bone or stick, if you will. The joints is the only way the body can move. It's determined by the shape and length of our bones within this universal human design. It only does what it does. Just like I showed earlier, when we straighten the knee between the foot and the hip, the entire leg does the exact same thing. Internal rotation or external rotation, And just anywhere the foot goes, the whole leg goes, in all the ways we could show it. Like I was in this position earlier in this video, right? Like at a kick or full extension at the knee, fully open at the hips, and now it all just does the same thing, the entire leg. So that's really the discussion with this video's title. The hips open when the leg straightens, right? The hips open when the legs straighten. Well, we just have to be able to fully straighten our legs. Just like you have to be able to fully straighten your elbows. And then when we fully straighten the legs, we have an open hip. When we fully straighten the elbows, we have an open shoulder. It'll never possibly do anything else, the human being. There's only one way it could ever possibly work. There's no possible opinion to it. It'll never possibly change. Designed in the image of an unchanging God. In the image of Jesus Christ. Here's your clothing company. Because clothing's the only thing physically placed on us. And so if we place something onto our physical bodies, physically, no matter what it is, the literal word of clothing, right? There's only one way we can have this not alter our bodies. Like I was saying earlier, with gravity having the same effect on our clothing that it has on our bodies, with joints of material of clothing meshing with joints of body parts, with clothing having to stay centered because there's a center line to Earth's vertical gravity pull and a center line to the human being, with even opposing musculature left and right into the center line of the body. I don't care who's got any kind of idea on a workout plan, a stretching routine, even somebody who's a physical therapist or a supposed doctor, anyone who's trying to get your body to do anything just besides what it can always and has always and only ever will be able to do, physically, mechanically, measurably, mathematically, function, okay? It can't do anything besides what it does, ever. It's impossible, unless you change the shape and or length of your bones. It's no breakthrough, it's just you have to have an understanding of the only way it works. Like I say often, as the founder and leader for life of In The Image Clothing Company, me, Evan Strong, the human body and its physical functioning is something that you could take to a mechanical engineer or a mathematics professor, somebody who does physics, and they could potentially understand it more easily and more thoroughly than somebody like a physical therapist, a sports coach, a personal trainer, a chiropractor, you know, a massage therapist, some yoga coach or something. And I'm not trying to be mean to anyone at all in this. No, not at all, just to be very clear. But it's mathematical truth. It's hinges, levers, and rotations. But the thing is, if we're stuck in chronic patterning, you just may have no idea how your body even is supposed to, meaning just should, work. The only way it ever possibly could. The bones connect directly through ligaments. There's only one neutral, and it's to the entire human being. And there's only one way it could ever possibly just work. It's just mechanics. Every human being to ever live because it's not our design. It just grows by itself. You can't work it out to get into a different position. You can't stretch your muscles anywhere. It's impossible. The bones hit into each other on both ends of fully extended at a joint or fully closed at a joint. It's impossible to get the body to do anything, but it just has to work all together. If we're in chronic patterning and parts of the body just aren't working, well, what about the rest of the body? You know, compensation tries to happen. You know, things try to play the role of something else that just can't. The foot can't be the elbow, right? The knee can't be the shoulder. It can't. It's impossible for it to play the same exact type of function because the physical bones, immovable by themselves, are a different shape and length. It's just a machine. That's not a way to approach it or to look at it. It's truly just a mechanical machine. Always, only, and ever. Every human being to ever live. My grandparents, great-great-grandparents, great-grandparents, and as far back as you want to possibly try to go, and my grandkids, great-great-grandkids, grandkids, and on any end of time ever, there's no breakthrough. You just have to have an understanding of motion, physics. It's, you know, and We don't know what we don't know, and we can't be held accountable for what we don't know. I didn't know just about anything. Well, I knew some things, but, you know, like with the depth of understanding I have of the anatomy of the human body, it didn't come until I was about 24 years old, right around the time I founded In the Image Clothing Company here. And only to do what our slogan is on our main side, with allowing the body to work. So there's just no possible opinion to it, but if you're trying to physically work around something physically placed on you, your literal word of clothing, if it's not working for your body, the only way your body works, your body just won't work. There's just no opinion to it. None.